Okay, we are live. I'm going to hope we don't get that weird echo. Welcome. It is today's Give Voice to Your Vision. And we have my beloved friend, client, colleague, Rachell Ross Kitchen. I've never said your middle name, I don't think, ever out loud. Rachell Kitchen's here, and she has some very exciting news just in time for Mother's Day. And I'm so excited to have her here. She's actually going to do a really fun and powerful training with us. Rachell is the Level Up for Life coach. How many books have you contributed to now, Rachell?
This will be my third, the one that is dropping on Mother's Day.
Contributing author, and we're going to share how you can access that powerful book for free later in this call. And she's going to do a really powerful training on how do we get clear and clarify and manifest the things in the life that we want. So I'm really excited to have you here. We've been journeying together for a couple of years now, and I love supporting you and watching you blossom and seeing you give voice to your vision. And I know you're touching the lives of many and helping them to go from a hot mess to being their best inside and out in a variety of ways. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me on and giving me the opportunity to share with the powerful presence group, all the rock stars here. So thank you for that. So
guys, so welcome.
Here's the skinny. Are you putting your success in your life on hold somewhere? Are you getting in your own way and making excuses for not taking action? You heard me. I said excuses. So we about to get real here. So buckle up.
Bring it on. Yeah. So we all do, right? We all make excuses, especially I know that your book that's coming out is focused on moms, and moms got full plates, right? Mm-hmm. We are juggling so many balls in the air and plates in the air, and the super mom complex. We want to give everything to our kids, and many of us, especially here in this group, are also growing businesses, making a transformation happen in the world, and there's so much to do. So yeah, I'd love to know. I'd love to jump right in and say, how do we get clear on where we're stuck or holding ourselves back?
Well, here's the skinny. You want to be paying attention to where you might be saying to yourself, or even saying out loud, as soon as I get more money, as soon as I get more information, as soon as I get more research, then I will make that call. I will expand my business. I will do that talk. So start paying attention to that.
Where are you waiting until you're ready?
Yeah,
There's a great quote from an actor called Hugh Laurie, who talks about, like, you're never ready.
Yeah,
now is the time.
Now is when you're ready. So be on the lookout for that. And really, what ends up happening, we start to create limiting patterns of behavior and limiting actions that really do keep us stuck. And before we know it, that big goal, that big message, that thing that we were brought here to share is on the someday shelf collecting dust because there's something else that need be done. Oh, look at that, those dust bunnies under there. I needed to make a call, but those dust bunnies need my attention right this minute. I mean, so it's
so easy to feel like we have to do this one thing first.
Yeah.
I'm working with people in sales calls a lot and building their business and growing their business, and we do it there too, right? We think like, I have to build my website before I can, follow up with that person who might want to hire me, right?
Exactly.
I think that the closer it is to our heart's desire, the more we avoid it. It's almost more vulnerable to have what we want than to not.
Yeah.
We're so used to kind of habituated in that thinking of like, I'm, in the struggle, right?
Absolutely. And the struggle is real. What you feel is real. And so not to diminish that, because doing something different to get different results is absolutely scary. And so putting off, making excuses and rationalizing why you need to do whatever it is really your gremlin and its negative chatter, that inner critic that is keeping you stuck and having you put your life on the someday shelf. So here's what you can do to shift that. The critical first step is that you want to identify what exactly are you putting on the Sunday shelf? What are you putting off that you really don't realize you're doing it just because you're in those familiar patterns? We're
in the rut. We're in the day-to-day. We're surviving the day.
Yes, exactly. So what I would invite you guys to do, don't overthink this. Don't make any judgments about it. Just to simply schedule some time and sit down and do a brain dump. Be honest with yourself. Remember, you don't have to share this with anybody unless you choose to. This is for your eyes only. And I want you to just do a brain dump and make a list of the goals, the projects, the tasks, even taking a look of your state of being. Happiness. I want to feel more fulfilled. I want to experience more joy de vivre. I have a client who says, I want more joy de vivre.
So the list we're making is the things that we want?
Yeah, the things that you have been saying, oh, I'd like to do this. I'd like to have that. I'd like to feel this way. All those things. Yeah. You know, what is it that you say you really want, but are not pursuing or are slowly going after and are frustrated around? Just dump it all out. We all have to-do lists. You can even start there.
So if you're watching live, I'm not sure who's here live, say, hey, I'm checking my phone as my little barometer here. So say, hey, if you're here, we've got a couple people on live. If you're watching live or if you're watching the replay right now, especially if you're watching the replay, you can hit pause and take 30 seconds. What are the top 5? Just write a few things down right now. And if you're here live, you could even post like what pops into your mind when you think of like that thing you really wish you had, that goal that you want, and you're not doing it or you don't have it yet.
Or you're saying, oh, I want to have X, but I can't until.
Yes, perfect. And you don't have to post it if it's vulnerable to post it here live, but you're welcome to if you want to. But write it down right now. Love it.
Yeah. So then after you've dumped that out, then you're going to take a look at the associated excuses or reasons you've been telling yourself why it is that you don't have the outcome that you want. And just go down the list. So look at everything you wrote down from that first step. Again, don't make any judgments about it. Whatever pops up, write it down. And you want to be looking for the things where you say, I'm too busy. I don't have fill in the blank, the money, the research, the knowledge, the skill. Oh, I'm too tired. You want to look for words like, I can't. I don't have fill in the blank. Oh, sorry, but oh, it's because. So if you find yourself in those modes of thinking and feeling, write that down.
Yeah, like, so I guess they could ask themselves, like, why don't you have these things yet?
Yeah, like what are, those are key words that are flags that these thoughts are possibly excuses for you. And then you also want to take a look at the areas where you're procrastinating and look at the reasons behind them. Because here's the deal, guys. Procrastination is sometimes our gremlin's way of tricking us into self-sabotage, and we have a hard time self-regulating. It's not that we don't have time, we don't know. It's just our gremlins get us stuck in that mode, and we are finding something else to do as why we can't make the call. Or
yeah, I've heard procrastination is a long word for fear.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're afraid of? What are you not doing because it's vulnerable, or it's new, or it feels, you know, I love my one of my favorite rants is on don't be too, right? T-O.
Yes.
It's too bold, it's too brash, it's too big, it's too loud,
it's too soon, it's too much.
It's too much. Yeah. So is there a don't be too that's in there? And that is probably underneath that is some sort of fear.
Yeah. And those areas where you're procrastinating, you're more than likely putting obstacles in your path, or you're making decisions that aren't in your best interest of moving you forward. And,
awesome.
you know, we all do it. You're not alone, but just don't.
Yeah. So again, if you're here live, say hey. I'm trying to see our comments in the chat too from my phone, but if you're here live, say hey to us. We want to know you're here. And also then you can put, you know, do you procrastinate? Like, does it happen? I think all of us do on some level. I know I can be pretty driven, but I can keep myself so busy with all these other great tasks and not do those one things that I really need to get to.
Right. And that will move you forward.
That will move me forward. And, you know, in business, as I'm helping people grow their business, and I'm sure I've told this to you many times, but, you know, one way to identify procrastination is, what could you do? What are 3, I call them high value actions. Mm-hmm. My friend Simone gave me that term years ago. What are 3 things you could do to actually get a client, have somebody pay you? Because that, not because we're in it for the money and we're greedy, but like that nugget can all of a sudden just like, you'll see what you're afraid of. Yes. Right? Because that's where the rubber meets the road. So for example, in business, you know, 3 high value actions. And as a mom, like I can say that, you know, sometimes that high value action is to get away from my kids, like to take a break, you know, like I am the most devoted mom and I arrange my whole life so we can, you know, be home for them and love them so much. But I have 2 special needs kids too. So it's like intense, but I had to say, you know, like sometimes that high value action that's going to make me better. And I resisted that. I was afraid of that. I put that off. Well, they need me too much. I need to XYZ. So a little mom glimpse into my,
and it's true. And that's a great segue to this next point I wanted to make, is that some of those reasons really do feel like legitimate reasons.
And they are.
And they are. And you have to kind of flush out what is the solvable obstacle versus the deeper things that are creating those limiting habits and behaviors.
Yeah. And you get to be at choice. If you're choosing, then you matter too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You count too. And I think that's a real challenge for those of us who are moms to prioritize ourselves at least a little bit once in a while over the needs of others. And I know that's true for a lot of purpose-driven entrepreneurs too. Absolutely. We're so obsessed with building our business and getting our work out in the world, and not in a bad way. Obsessed kind of has a negative connotation, but, you know, devoted, driven, committed to sharing our work in the bigger way. And we can get caught up in like trying to generate and fulfill that and still be in procrastination because we're not finding the language that's actually going to have people come and hire us. We're not asking and making invitations so that people can hire us. We're not taking the credit card. So, you know, it's powerful. It's powerful to just like notch yourself up for 10 minutes for one day, you know, for a little bit on the priority list, right?
Yes, absolutely. So you've identified the reasons why you haven't gotten the outcome that you want. And now let's pull back the curtain on those excuses. Yeah. Because most likely what's underneath is your gremlin all in your head messing with you, and it's negative chatter. So guys, what I want you to do is twofold. Here's the question. What makes you feel like you don't deserve what you want right now, or the way you want to feel is contingent on something else?
Say that again.
What makes you feel like you don't deserve what you want right now, or the way you want to feel is contingent on something else? Like, I got to get more research. I need to build my website. I need to, you know, find the pretty pink blouse that matches my logo before I can go to the network. Whatever it might be. And really get honest with yourself. And if you want to take this exercise a little bit deeper, you more than likely have been hearing the voice in your head that's a whisper, or maybe it's loud and on repeat, and it might be saying something like, "Oh, I'm not smart enough to go do. Ooh, I'm not experienced enough to go do. Oh my goodness, I don't deserve to have that. Who's going to listen to me?
Who am I to?"
Yes, to, oh my gosh, they're going to find out I'm a phony. I better stay where it's nice and comfortable. So that's a way to even take it deeper. If you really sit with this and identify those areas, That's exposing your gremlin. And it may be some other buzzword for you, but whatever that buzzword is something that shakes you to your core and keeps you from the success you want and deserve. Got you putting it on the someday shelf.
Yeah. I just figured out who's here on my little phone. So we have Marion's here. Hi, Marion. And Catherine Harvickson was here.
Hey,
and
Catherine.
a couple other people. So, hey, Catherine. And so we need to connect, Catherine. We need to connect, beloved friend. The buzzwords, can you just go down the list of, like, give me an idea of what those buzzwords are one more time?
Like that, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not something. It's a personal thing. You might even ask yourself, what might you be embarrassed to look at or to admit that could be stopping you? Like you wouldn't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
And
so for a lot of people I know too, when it comes to being visible, stepping into their expertise, really giving voice to their vision, that's what we're talking about today, is that this fraud, right? The imposter syndrome is underneath, you know, like, who am I to be so bold, to lead, to dare,
right.
You know, and it's that feeling of being found out as a fraud, or what other people will think of us as well.
Fear of rejection.
Fear of success.
Exactly. Worried about, well, oh, what if it goes too big too fast? I'm not ready. I'm not enough. I don't.
Yeah, so this is great. These tools and exercises that you've given us have really given us a way to start to become aware of how we're talking to ourselves. And it's an incredibly empowering tool to start to look at. It's not always easy, right? We kind of we keep ourselves busy so that we don't have to see. So if you've written any of these lists down, if you've taken this inventory, congratulations. It's a big deal just to write it down in your own self. Nobody else is going to see it, but you're on the way to actually having a choice, rather than in how you act, in what you do and what you accomplish, and moving towards your goals, rather than getting stuck in that thinking that you may not even have been aware of before, right? I had a friend tell me years ago that your head, these are all, you're giving us these great examples of like the stories that we tell ourselves, that, you know, and we can live in those stories. And they're designed to keep us safe, right? But they actually keep us small. Instead of we're not really safe. We're just being small. And so these friends of mine told me years ago that your head can be like a bad neighborhood. You don't want to go in alone. So don't go in there alone, and stay there and listen to your stories. You know, if you're feeling, you know, stuck or stop, that having a mentor or a coach or a group to help you see more clearly is such a powerful tool.
Exactly.
So how do we make our vision manifest now that we've got a sense of what we want to do, wish we could, what's on the shelf, and what might be stopping us in our...
And then I'm going to invite you to doubt your doubts.
Nice.
Doubt your doubts.
I love it. We're good doubters, right?
So you're good at doubting, so doubt your doubts. So when your gremlin is all in your head saying, you're not this, you're not that, oh, wait a minute, that might not be true. Doubt your doubt.
If I am all that and a bag of chips.
Exactly. The fourth step that's going to really help get us there is taking a look at what it's costing you. Because we are so spinning our wheels and on the busy wheel of life that we don't really take a look back and say, well, wait a minute. What are these excuses and my gremlin messes? What is it really costing me? So I just close your eyes and think about, when these excuses come up, how do you feel?
Yeah.
What are you feeling in your body? Is it anxious? Do you feel fear? Are you sweating? Are your palms icky? Do you feel a tension in your neck, a pit in your stomach? Does your chest feel tight? When those things are happening, that's another red flag for you to go, ooh, that's not an overcomable challenge. That's an excuse that my gremlins put out there for me to buy into that story that's going to keep me small. So pay attention to what's going on in your body.
So interesting, because, you know, I also use going to the body to, you know, for people who want to be visible, right? Sometimes, you know, marketing and messaging can feel really salesy or vulnerable for people. So that when we have that really deep personal thing that we want to share, it can be even more difficult. Like I had a client who could easily go stand on stage and talk to 5,000, 10,000 people in a corporate life. But when she wanted to bring her message of, gut healing and massive healing, transformation and spiritual awareness, she literally would be choked up with tears because it was so terrifying. So that body betrayal is not necessarily in reality, right? It's our thinking.
Yeah, but it does create the reality.
It does create the reality. And then there you are living with that pit in your stomach and your mind's blank and your mouth's dry. And, of course, why would you go after your dreams if it's that, right? So
but if you now aware of that, like, and then doubt the doubt, like, well, what's going on here?
Right.
And start asking
doubt.
What's going on here? And then I'm also going to challenge you to figure out what does remaining in the current state of affairs, this current situation, what benefit is that to you? You wouldn't be there if it didn't give you something. So get real with that. And sometimes that might be okay, but then also take the flip look of that. Well, how is it affecting me emotionally, physically, my inner well-being? And
so
just really look at both areas so that you have all the data so that you can doubt the doubts and really figure out, okay, that excuse is a solvable problem.
Yeah.
This is a deeper thing that I need to get some support. That's my inner work to do. That's where I need to call a friend, phone a coach, call my mother, whatever it is you need for support.
Or don't call your mother.
Or don't call your mother. So that you can get off the ledge on that one and really noodle it through.
It's a great tool. I love these tools. I just want to let you know, Marianne said, yeah, it's pretty pink flowers, Alina says. Awesome. And Marianne loves Doubt Your Doubts, and Leah's going to come back for the replay. So thanks you guys for being here. I totally lost my train of thought because I just got excited by our friends who are here.
Hi, friends who are here.
Hi,
friends. So then here's the last thing. Now you've got all this data, right? So now ask yourself, what is it that I really want and how am I going to get it? What is it that you really, truly want? Speak it out, write it down, put it as a screensaver, and then look
little Post-its on your bathroom mirror by your bedside.
I have Post-its all around my dashboard. And then take a look at that list that you created of what it's costing you.
Yeah.
And ask yourself, what are you willing to do to reduce the cost to achieve that thing that you say you really want?
What are you willing to do to reduce the cost
to achieve that thing?
So again, tell me more about that.
What do you really want? What are you willing to do to reduce the cost, whatever that might be, to achieve what it is that you really want?
So how would I reduce the cost? Give me an example.
Well, you can start to ask yourself, okay, from where I am right now, what's the first small little tiny step that I could take that would feel good to me and that would build that confidence muscle and give me some self-efficacy, basically, to know that I can. We often think that our big why, our big goal, our big vision, our big dream is this esoteric mountain to climb that is insurmountable. How are we ever going to get there?
Right.
And we just need, it's like the GPS in your car. If you were sitting in your driveway, you know where you want to go, but if you don't back out even just a little bit, the little lady isn't going to say, okay, Michelle, make a left turn. You won't even know that you are on the wrong path unless you move.
Oh, and to take your GPS analogy a little further too, is sometimes it says head to this certain point and then I'll guide you.
Exactly.
Right? Like sometimes it's like go to the main road and then I'll tell you how to go, right? So we have to take action. So you've given us some powerful actions we can take on what I call this kind of work, taking inventory, right? Once we become bringing these thoughts and feelings and what's really standing in the way and slowing us down and getting clear on what we want, we don't make time to get clear on what we want.
Exactly.
Especially moms. We're here about Mother's Day, and the book that you're going to share with us is a wonderful tool for moms. And we don't make time to even remember what we want. We want a good night's sleep. We want our kids to be healthy and happy. We want, right? So to take the time, even just watching this replay, being with us here live, to think about it and go through these exercises of writing down what you want, and then taking the time to take stock of like what's really stopping you. So it's a generous, beautiful, lavish gift for you to give yourself to take.
And you can do this in chunks. You don't have to.
You can do this all in 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be like a big thing.
You can do it in chunks. And so then once you know what you really want, this is where this beautiful Mother's Day collaborative book will come into play. Because my chapter is going to take your goals that you've now written out and show you how you can fast track those through the power of visualization using vision boards. Because this ain't your grandma's vision board. We aren't going to go cut some pretty pictures and some cute affirmations, just like everybody else has got on their Pinterest wall. We are going to pack this thing with punch so that the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe is guiding you, will manifest and put into your awareness the things that were already there, but were out of your view because of this work, because you've been putting your success and your big vision on hold, and you couldn't even see the opportunities and the things, the people, the circumstances that were already present in your life that would move you forward toward what you wanted.
I love it. I love it. I was just thinking, for me, my resistance, my obstacle around vision boards is like fussing with it and taking the time. And what we're just talking about here is like, it's so powerful to take the time to make and create. And then when you make manifest when you do come down to the actual vision board and you have it there, but you've got this deep work and you've taken time out to do it.
Yes.
You have made this energetic investment and imprint that is incredibly powerful toward it happening in your life. Yeah. Everyone I know who's done a deep vision board process can look at that vision board almost always less than a year later and say, oh my God, I have that. I have that. I have that. I have that.
Because you are tapping into your innovative subconscious mind, and it goes
to, I would call that your creativity, right? Your creative voice.
Yeah, and it goes to work solving the problem of what it is you said you wanted and that you were able to ask for very specifically and very clearly. And that's what this work that we talked about today will help you do. In the chapter of the book, it's going to show.
I'm posting the link right now. I've spaced that part. I just posted the link to your book.
It's also going to show you inside the book how you can really be strategic and pack a punch. Because like I said, in this process that I teach in my live workshops, and I'm actually thinking about doing a virtual one. So you guys be on the lookout for that.
Awesome. We'll share that in our promo thread on Tuesdays when that comes.
But it really does give you that powerful, vision boards. The way I'm doing vision boards is getting a fly innovative upgrade. And it's really going to allow your creativity and your innovative self-conscious
to make manifest the things that you want.
And you're going to be clear. You're going to have set some intentions around what those are. You got to clear the stuff that we just talked about, identifying those excuses and clear that away to make room for that expansion.
Rock star! Yeah! Singing my song. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, we are here to give voice to our work in the world. We're here. Every person has a unique gift. Every person has a unique perspective. Every person has unique expertise and experience, and every person puts it together in their own unique way. And every person has their own unique voice, right down to the actual DNA that makes up your physical voice.
Yes.
So if you don't share your message, if you don't sing your song, then it goes unmanifest. And it is bold, it is daring, because we've all got these gremlins, right? We've all got this negative talk. And so thank you so much for sharing this powerful process with us. We are so blessed to have
welcome. Thank you for having
you guys. Download her book. We get it for free, right?
Yep, you get it for free.
And it's in time for moms.
Yep,
so
it's in time for moms.
If you want that last minute gift for your mom, I better tell my mom to come in here.
Yeah, get the book for free. I will send you the link on Mother's Day. That will be your special.
You'll get the link on Mother's Day. How perfect.
Yeah. And guess what? There's another special little treat inside that's gonna help you flush out what Michelle just said about your unique and special gifts.
Awesome.
There's a guide so you can reconnect with what makes you special.
That's great. And it's a collaboration, right?
It's a collaboration. So there's over 25 plus experts, healers, speakers, coaches, consultants.
Loving up the mamas. I love it.
That have come together to give moms their best kept secrets, strategies, and tips in celebration of everything that moms do and to really celebrate them.
That's awesome. You know what I love about the compilation too is that the chapters are there, so you can really like skim and say, "Ooh, what do I want to learn about tonight before I go to bed?" Or, "Ooh, what do I want to take a minute to go?" And I can kind of get the whole nugget in that chapter. So, congratulations on yet another amazing collaboration and book, and thank you for being core member of our Power Up Your Presence group and one of my Dare to Soars. And I love watching you blossom and share. And I'm so grateful for you sharing your gift and your message and your presence and your enthusiasm and your brilliance and your caring here. Happy Mother's Day in advance. Yeah, and thanks you guys. So if you come back and watch the replay, I just posted the link here in the comments below. Come back and watch the replay. Go ahead and participate and chime in on the chat, the comments, and let us know if you have any of those demons, those gremlins you want to share. I call them the demons of don't do it. The demons of don't do it.
I love that.
What will they say? What will they think? What will happen? My doubt is my takeaway. We've got a couple people. Alina's loving Doubt Your Doubts. So that's one of my big takeaways today. Thanks again for sharing it. And you guys, we have a lot of great interviews coming up here in the group. Thanks so much for being a part of this group. If you want to be featured as a spotlighted and you have something to contribute that you want to share, you're welcome to private message me, and we can see if it's a good fit to have you come in and do an interview. And I've got some really fun interviews coming up in the group here, and I'm going to be doing some on my business page as well. We're going to interview Antonia and Greg, who have the Prosperity Clarity Challenge that's running this week. And I'm going to talk with them next week about a training that they're doing. And we got Michael Neely's going to come in a couple of weeks, and you know Michael, right? He's a big podcaster, and he's going to talk about how to build your authority blueprint. And I'm excited to share him with you. So thanks for being here. Thank you, Rachell. So great to have you with us, sharing your brilliance. And we will
everyone who was with us on the live.
Yeah, thanks for being here live, and definitely let us know you were here. Give us a comment, give us a heart, give us a like. When you come back to watch the replay, this recording will be live here in this group, and you're welcome to invite friends who would benefit as well. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.